Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode is powered by Perfect Sports Nutrition. Today's video is a preview of the workouts and lessons that you will get at bazookatraining.com. If you like it, head over to the website bazookatraining.com, sign up, and get all these workouts. There's over 300 to learn from. All right, let's get into today's video. Boom! Welcome back to bazookatraining.com here in the home workout section. Today, we're working on our combination flow, but with both stances. So I'm going to show you how we practice it here at Bazooka Kickboxing. So let's start with round one. In round one, we're going to stick to our dominant stance. So this is your good stance that you're used to. And we're going to flow with basic combinations to get used to it, okay? So our basic combination flow is going to be a jab, round kick. I need you to exit, circle, move around, 1, 2, switch kick, move around, and then 1, 2, 3, round kick, okay? So a lot of times you see that I teach these basic combinations because it's the easiest to remember and it lets you practice the concept, right? I don't want you having to, think about what to do. The idea of here is just flowing with your strikes. Now, when you do this, okay, the basic way of practicing this flow would be to hit, okay, your one combination. You could move 2 combinations. See, the same pause in between is more of a basic. Sometimes what I want you to do is 1, 2. Sometimes I might flow right away, move a little bit, and then throw the third one, right? So I want to change the gap, the time between combinations, all right? Sometimes quick, sometimes more with movement. Sometimes I'm taking an angle. Sometimes I might throw all 3 combinations in one position. Then I'll move out and then repeat, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Change the time in between combinations to get the flow. Now, the idea of this drill and this concept today is be able to do the switching, okay, and the combinations from both stances, all right? So this is the challenge. Most of us only practice on one stance. So today, you're going to be forced to practice your other stance, and then by round 3, you're going to be able to flow between both stances with all of these combinations. So that's the goal at the end of today's workout. So we're almost done round 1, nicely warming up, making sure we understand the combinations we're throwing. Now, if you're really good, you can change it up. You don't necessarily have to throw these combinations, but the idea is I do need you flowing with your right leg, your switch kicks, and your right side. Now, what else we do here is you'll notice Diego does it naturally. He naturally switches levels. Sometimes he goes to the calf, sometimes body, sometimes head. Okay, so that's how we mix it up. That'll make it more advanced. Now, round 2 is the challenge. For some of us who practice our southpaw or opposite stance, depending on which stance you are, this might be difficult. So I need you to practice the simple footwork that we always do. Now, if you're basic and you've never gone in your opposite stance before, simply stand behind the line. Step over the line, kick, step back. 1, 2, practice the switch kick, step back. So you're building in the enter, exiting. If you know how to enter, exit with the stepping from the opposite stance, let's build in our movement, okay? So jab, round kick, same thing. 1, 2, switch kick. 1, 2, 3, round kick with level changes. So you can see how we're controlling our stance right now. We're returning and we're moving. So part of stance switching is how do we get there naturally? The last thing I want you to do is throw a good combination from your right side, stop, then in mid-range, right, I'm close to my pylon, switch in mid-range. Switching in mid-range is very dangerous, right? If I'm sitting here defensive, my cone is my opponent. If I'm sitting here defensive, blocking everything nice and sharp, and then I switch here, there's the moment I square up. I'm giving my center line up for my opponent to smash me down my guard. So at this point here, if I'm in my right stance, I need to exit out safely, okay? I could back step into my southpaw, okay? Another thing that we're going to show you in this last round here is we're going to kick into the southpaw. So I need to hide it. It's called masking the stance switch, and that is a big key, okay? Hiding the stance switch, all right? So let's keep practicing here on our southpaw because this is the most important part. If you can't throw from a southpaw position, this whole drill and this concept becomes very difficult. So make sure we practice these. Now, as you get more advanced, right, I know a lot of coaches have different philosophies, but as you start getting more advanced, I'm a big believer in eventually practicing your opposite stance. Now, you might not fight in that opposite stance, but what happens a lot of times in fights, a lot of knockouts happen when you might throw your right kick, you're at a position, but your opponent comes in and you just throw from that opposite stance. Then next thing you do is you watch tape and you're like, man, I was in Southpaw when I dropped him, right? That happens so frequently that it's important that we practice being in those positions just for those opportunities, okay? So we'll go one more second and time, okay? So 2 rounds in, now we get into our stance switching. Now with stance switching, as I mentioned, it can't happen in mid-range. I need to be away when I'm stance switching or do it naturally. The way we like to do it here, okay, is with our right head kicks, right? So say 1, 2, 3. This time we're going to throw a head kick but fall forward. Okay, when I fall forward, then I'll exit out, and now I'm in Southpaw to repeat my Southpaw combination. Now 1, 2, 3, I'm in my Southpaw, head kick, fall forward, naturally scoot out, and now I'm in my Orthodox position. Okay, so that's how I want you to start this 3rd round here, okay? Now, you don't have to do all 3 combinations, but I think it's important because it helps develop that flow, okay? So, again, use that high kick to be able to switch your stance naturally, okay? Now, another one that I like to do personally is how I would use my left leg. So I might stance switch after my 1-2 switch kick. So I'm in Orthodox now. I might go 1-2 switch kick, and then I bring my foot back into Southpaw. Now all of a sudden I could start my combo flow from my Southpaw. Okay, now I'm back in Orthodox. So those are the 2 main ways you can do it. Another way you can do is you can kick, return back to your stance, and then use a back step. Now I'm in my opposite stance, okay? So those are little tricks to be able to flow. But the key here is I need combination flow from one stance, a natural stance switch where it hides it, masking it from your opponent, and then I need you flowing from your Southpaw position, okay? Now, I'm talking as an Orthodox fighter. Obviously, if you're Southpaw, you're going to naturally switch to your Orthodox stance, and that will be your opposite stance, okay? So, the main thing here, let's flow between both stances, and let's hide the stance switches. So, I can come with a high kick, boom, fall into my other stance, and then keep my flow going. Another one of my favorites I like is the switch kick. 1-2, switch kick, come back to my opposite stance, and now I can come and attack again. Okay, the 3rd one that I'll mix in is, doesn't matter after any combo, back to my original stance, back step, and then be able to go. If you're really advanced and if you want to, you can use a shift as well. So there's options to be able to switch your stances, just practice them. But for me, I personally like switching with strikes. It makes it safer, you hide it a little bit more. If I just walk forward like this, you can time me. So usually if I'm shifting, I'm gonna shift with punches. I'm gonna punch you in the face and hide my feet, that masking concept I keep talking about. Or I'll switch, but obviously I like this, like I'm hitting you and I come back to my stance. I'll head kick you and I fall into a different stance. To me, it's safer and more effective to do it that way, all right? Combination flow from both stances, hide it, mask it, and we'll see you next time here at bazookatraining.com. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website is going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.